we start from the bottom by recognizing that victim abuser consciousness, there isn't much awareness, there isn't much control, and thus a person has little power or control in their life, in their circumstances. We may say it is the darkest place in terms of awareness, consciousness, when it's completely veiled. Coming to self-empowerment category of consciousness, people become more aware of their thoughts. People become aware more of what is happening in their heads primarily, and due to the lack of space in the head and the abundance of unwanted thoughts, people start to look for possibilities of change. So there comes a certain degree of awareness to see the thoughts and to recognize that there must be a way how I could change them, how to make thoughts more positive. So, in other words, in awareness, there comes a seeing of the objects, which are the thoughts, and the objects are no longer desirable, such as negative thoughts. And thus, a person wants to make a change in their objective experience, to change their thoughts into more positive ones. At the same time, in the objective world, a person realizes that there might be a way how I can make my life better. And if I learn this skill and that skill, I might make my objective life better. So, in the self empowerment category, the awareness gives a certain ability for a person to realize that they can change their objective life, the physical life, and hopefully to make their mind, what is in the head, which is also objective, to make it a bit more positive. As we grow a bit more, emotions come into play, and on the emotional plane now comes a realization that if I can change my mind, I might be also be able to start changing my emotional state. So the awareness then empowers to penetrate more, not only through the mental body, but also into emotional body. So thus, a person in the beginning of their life learns how to use the physical body, and then develops ability how to use the mind, and then develops ability how to take care of their emotional body. Now, if we remove the common understanding of humanity that my thoughts, my emotions, and all of it is normal, we can see it more clearly when we look from the point of awareness. From the point of awareness, we learn how to use the physical body. We become aware of the physical body. And this is beautiful and amazing. We learn the cycles of the body, the needs of the body, what food is preferable, how to take care of it, health aspects, and so on. And then the mind, and then the emotional body. So once emotional body gets cleared up, it is still at the level of the objective world. It is the inner self, yes, the mind, the emotions, but it's still objective. It is still the inner object, we may say. A person is still not looking at who is experiencing this or that yet. So emotional empowerment comes in, mental empowerment, physical empowerment. Now that is familiar to all of you. It gets more interesting as we go higher above. There comes a spiritual awakening. And right there, those who are more aware, even while they are exploring the emotional body, they might start experiencing out of body experiences. They might experience astral travels. So the awareness penetrates deeper and go more into the emotional body, and thus being able to experience astral travels, out of body travels. Normally, they would explore the lower 4D places because without deeper clearing of emotions, one would experience primarily that which they can access, meaning the lower 4D, which is the emotional plane with all the generally positive, negative, equally experiences on the astral plane, meeting some challenges and fears and so on. As the emotional body gets cleared up, the awareness allows to shift into the higher astral plane and thus to experience more beautiful paradise places or more beautiful emotions, lighter emotions, more spontaneous joy. So we may say that from the perspective of awareness itself, since the lower bodies have been cleared up to some degree, a person can now start to experience lighter and subtler experiences. For those whom awareness is stronger, it may penetrate into the dream states in the meditations, may come vivid experiences. Or for others who place more awareness to their mind, they may receive more realizations of the nature of emotions, the mechanisms of emotions, and so forth. So with the spiritual awakening, one gains abilities to manage the physicality better, the mind, the emotions better. Everything is a certain skill, a certain ability. Some of you are more based on feeling. Some of you are more based on the seeing through the mind more, being more analytical, investigative. Some of you are very energetic, and some people are more experiential. So they want to experience it first and then to see how it feels and what does it mean. So there are various ways that awareness shines through your system. In the most empowered state, a person, we may say, has a nearly equal balance between all the bodies, equal balance of clarity of the mind, equal balance of clarity of emotions, including the ability to feel emotions of others, and equal clarity to experience everything without labeling too much and to allow the experience to be as it is. With the spiritual awakening, energetics come into play. So the awareness now upgrades and your whole life upgrades to the new level. Now we reach the energetic plane. So we can start consciously interacting with energetics. There are many degrees how one interacts with energetics. One may simply experience sensations in the body and go to a doctor and say, oh, I have this pain and that pain. And the doctor says, I don't know how to help you because everything is fine with you. So that happens often. Those who are more aware of energetics, you start to see and learn the patterns of energetics. You realize that the mind is energy, that emotions are energy, the body is energy. So what you're dealing with is energy. And thus you start seeing the patterns, the way how it works. And of course, with awareness of that, with awareness of energy, you want to start to harmonize those energies, balance those energies. Just like in the previous state of the self-empowerment, you became aware of various thoughts and you wanted to make them more positive. Same thing with emotions and now with energies. So you see, it's the same pattern, but the game upgrades, next level, so to speak. So now you're in the ocean of energies. When you meditate, your awareness can penetrate deeper. For those who are most advanced, they realize that all the things, all objective things are energies. The body, the mind, the emotions, all of it is energy. And now I have a big task at hand, which is learning to deal with energies, learning the way of energies. So now awareness looks very closely how to manage all these energies. How do they work? What happens? Including all the chakras and Kundalini and million possible energetic experiences. So at this stage, those who are most aware, they feel empowered to work with energy. Some people choose to help others with healing, or they explore how to keep balance their own chakras with the awareness of the energetics in the empowered state. At the same time comes awareness of that which is disbalanced. Same like negative thoughts, difficult emotions. Now we have disbalanced energies, stuck energies, blocked energies, lack of space for the energies. One becomes aware of that. One experiences more beautiful energetic states. One experiences a certain amount of challenges to learn through it. As we go higher up the scale, we become aware that energies are energies. You do one thing, another thing changes. They're interconnected, interwound. The whole universe is energy. Then, hopefully, now that's where most people get stuck at the level of energetics. But as we move along, hopefully, a person encounters in various ways that the space is the remedy of the problems of the energies. The more space there is for the energy, the more there is ability to manage them better. I give the example of the bowl. If there's this big bowl, you can put certain amount of things get cramped easily. You have a bigger bowl, you can put more things, more nicely aligned, things are easier. All the way we expand into a greater space for the energy. So that's where we encounter, we become aware of the space for the energy. We ask, there must be a better way to manage all of it. So thus, with the right question and the right help, one encounters that the space is that secret ingredient for managing the energies. For those who take a path of empowerment, those gain certain abilities to manage energies, to heal the energies. So at this range, it would be still considered as an energy healing plane to be of service, of helping others to balance their energetics. When we become aware of the space, we become aware that in the space there are all energies, and equally so in my space there are my energies. So what is that space? My space in which my energies are, that is your beingness. You become aware of the being. And then it creates a big shift in one's reality because one understands that I can be busy for the whole rest of my life with energies. But beingness has always been here, and I can, if I settle more into the beingness, the space for the energies, there is much more depth to it. And at this point, it becomes revealed the dual nature of energetics. That all the goods come with challenges, all the challenges have opportunities for something better. At this stage, the duality of energetics becomes more and more obvious. So one becomes aware of the nature of duality, how dualities function, and one becomes able now to start transcending dualities. At this stage, one realizes that's the way to deal with it. Because when you process the dual aspect of energetics in the cyclical nature, you become freed from it. And once you look back into your life, you had cycles of experiences, you freed yourself from those cycles of experiences. So now the awareness empowers you to be able to deal with the dual nature of energies and to become freed from them. That's where the word transcendence comes into play. You realize that now you can transcend. It is a power, an ability to deal with the dual energies and to transcend them. At this stage, those who are on the path of empowerment or teaching, they become not only the healers, but they realize the greater powers, the non-dual powers of energies. At this stage, one looks at more pure energies. One may encounter the teachings of ascension and the seven rays and realize that all creation, all objective creation is made of seven rays and their associated qualities and sub-qualities and mixture of those seven rays. So one starts to look at more pure qualities of energetics and realize that by cleaning up the lower qualities, transcending the lower qualities, one becomes empowered to align, attune, and to work with higher qualities, higher pure energies. At this plane, these are more pure heavens who are manifested on those planes accordingly. So awareness becomes now more freed because it is becoming freed from the dual energies. It becomes more aligned and it can shine into more pure energies. And at the same time, recognizing that it is the beingness in which energies are and everything is experienced below. It is still an objective quality of experience. And at this point, one may start to inquire deeper to whom this experience arises, who's experiencing this. Then people find out that there is nobody as such, there is no body as such. If all the body is realized as energy, if everything is energy, then who is this person? Nobody. The space is realized. You realize the space for the energy. So you realize that space, nothingness, is, we may say, a bigger identity, bigger self, or more free state of being. Now, many assume that's the Enlightenment and so on. Those who are empowered at that stage, and there are not many who are empowered. Now, that's where the question comes, what is empowerment? Empowerment is ability to work with and be responsible for and essentially assist someone else, not only yourself, which is not easy, but easier, but to assist somebody else is even more difficult with their energetic challenges, including mental, emotional, psychological, physical, energetic challenges, and also look at the deeper nature of their being as well. So empowerment is a certain ability, a gift to help others, we may say. It comes with responsibility, and without the responsibility, power is egoic, power is abused. So with the responsibility, with kindness, love, compassion, this power is a gift for others. To attain these gifts or empowerments, you need to set yourself in a different way. This is a big shift, an inner polar shift within, because majority of people are looking at how can I help myself? How can I quickly get rid of my problems? How can I be free the easiest way? But to step into service to others, it is to become empowered. It comes with a responsibility, it comes with a lot more work, but it is a highly rewarding path. Never too late to choose that path. Never too late to work on the path of service to others. In other words, empowerment. Because now, in terms of awareness, what happens? If you follow the path for your own sake, as such, your awareness helps you to that degree for you towards the goal of more freedom, awakening, liberation. But the degree and the amount of awareness that is allotted to you or assigned to you or available to you is limited, more limited, because your focus is on yourself only. Whereas a being who is focusing on the service to others has a much wider opening, much wider perspective. In his or her mind, it fits not only their problems, but the problems of everybody else. In their heart, it fits not only their own emotions, but emotions of everybody else. In their energy field, fits not only their own energy, but the energies of everybody else. So, thus, from the viewpoint of awareness, it is a much greater amount of awareness that is available, a much greater capacity of awareness is available because it is the path of service to others. It is the path of empowerment. Thus, it is much more fulfilling, much more complete experience because in this experience, the ego I is subsided to such a great degree that everybody else is also important. And not everybody else as human beings, but also the animals, nature, earth, cosmos. In this regard, the degree and the amount of awareness is much, much bigger than on the individual path of self-realization. As we come higher up, a person attains abilities to heal others, to feel responsibility for the animals, nature, earth, the solar system, the galaxy, and so on. At the same time, there are different degrees again, how much of awareness also is paid to all those things along the way. We can take an analogy of traveling, because if somebody hops on a plane from Paris to Mumbai, the trip is short and the destination is reached, but you don't see anything along the way. If somebody goes with a bus from Paris to Mumbai, then you will see a lot more things. You will encounter a lot more things. And if you go on a bicycle or individually on a motorbike or bicycle, you will have many adventures along the way. You will meet a lot more people. If you have your free schedule, you still have a goal in your mind, but you meet a lot more people, you see a lot more things, you experience a lot more things. So the journey from Paris to Mumbai becomes a lifetime experience. You have gained so much from this journey in comparison to somebody who just hopped on a plane and in 5 hours they arrived to Mumbai. Or if you took a bicycle tour and went along the way, like 2, 3 months travel, now you had an adventure of your lifetime. So the same way, there are those who focus on self-realization for my own sake primarily, because I just want to get rid of my problems. I just want to feel good. I just want to get there as quickly as possible. Nothing wrong with that, but you're not empowered. You arrive to the destination, and there again, you can choose to become empowered. You can choose to make a wish to start helping others. So you're getting the point of the different degrees and abilities, capacity, responsibilities, empowerment along the way. As we go up on the journey of awareness, we come to the awareness itself. I am aware. Who is aware? Awareness is aware. Now we're meeting the pure subject. I am aware. Awareness is aware. The pure subject. Sometimes they can merge into no subject object, but usually it stays as a subject at this stage. So one starts looking through the eyes of awareness. Everything that you look upon has more light, more clarity. You can see through the energies better. When you become empowered at the stage of awareness, you not only realize that you are aware of awareness, but you realize all the mechanics below awareness. You realize how you can help others below awareness. You can see all the ins and outs, how awareness becomes veiled, how awareness becomes subjective, and you step into the objectivity. As we move along the path, the awareness becomes stronger and stronger. It attains more strength that it can penetrate deep. It can penetrate into the subconsciousness, into the deeper aspects, and it can penetrate into the ordinary matters. For example, I am a human. This is automatically understood. For example, that I am breathing, that I'm alive. This is no doubt, no question. Nobody asks about that. So, the same way, however, at that stage of awareness, these general assumptions that I am alive, general assumptions that I'm a human being, general assumptions that this is reality can be looked at. And it's nothing wrong, first of all, with feeling alive, with being human, with the world, and so on. There's nothing wrong with all of these obvious matters. But the awareness can come to that degree of seeing that even those are inbuilt, pre programmed assumptions, like a BIOS of the computer system, which is the deepest code, the source code. So, the same way your source code is being alive, being human, being able to think, to feel, to eat, to sleep, and so on. These are normal functions. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with them, but your awareness may penetrate through them, through the not only subconsciousness, but the unconsciousness through the deep sleep state. As the awareness penetrates through the unconsciousness, those who are more empowered usually gain very large cosmic realizations. They gain universal realizations. They gain a realization of what is called Saguna Brahman, the Brahman which is manifested. The body of the Saguna Brahman is the universe. So, usually at this stage, the empowered yogi, now who is a guru, assumes that he is the Brahman, he is the body of the universe, and he is that light emanating the body of the universe. Now, this, of course, is the most advanced realization where one feels the universe, where one gains deep insights into the nature of the universe. As I was traveling through those planes, I had vivid experiences of galactic nature, of the heart of the galaxy, of the black holes, white holes, all sorts of cosmic phenomena, and coming to the feeling even the clusters of the universe, how they are interconnected in the brain and all sorts of things, and even seeing into the atoms and smaller particles, how they make up everything. So the awareness is so intense and so large that it can, in the empowered state, it can penetrate to much vaster and deeper degree into the atoms, black holes, white holes, cosmic phenomena, and the very source of the universe where the Saguna Brahman is sitting as the Lord of the manifested universe, and he is the light, he is the Lord of the manifested universe itself. So this happens to the yogis, to the beings who are extremely aware and extremely empowered energetically, because these these experiences, not only visions, but experiences, they leave a certain residue. They open up certain energetic channels for these vaster energies to flow through this system. So not all yogis go this way. Not everybody who self-realizes go this way. But those who do, the certain higher intensity energies or larger energies can flow through their energetic system. So as we go along from the Saguna Brahman, which is the light and the Lord of this universe, we pass through the great void and we open up to the divine. This is where the divine awareness awakens. The divine awareness now can see through the eyes of divine. It can see through many things more clearly. It is already a higher state of bliss because there are various degrees of bliss as well. Maybe that will be topic for another satsang. The bliss starts with the illuminated mind, but the divine awareness awakens a much higher degree of bliss, and the love is so much more pure, more real. That's the true word of unconditional, because below the divine, everything is to some degree conditional. It is subject to the causality from a Buddhist perspective, which is very valid, that everything that is manifested is subject to the cause and effect. So the divine awareness, normally people who go on a highway, again, they take a flight to the divine and say, oh, I'm right there. And let's keep moving upwards. Nothing wrong with that. All fine. Those who are more into the service to others, they realize much more profoundly what is the divine. They realize more deeply the nature of the divine. They attain the supreme qualities of the pure love, the supreme qualities of divine wisdom, and the supreme qualities of intelligence of how the manifested universes function. Our universe is in particular way, the way it is. There are other universes in many different ways. And some of them are so strange and weird that your brain is really not made to interpret it at all. It just doesn't compute in human brain how other universes are. So the divine awareness has many degrees of empowerment, many degrees of depth, many degrees of insight, many degrees of its vastness, openness. Those who take a highway approach, we don't stay there too long and we keep going up until we dissolve or resolve things into the full consciousness. But those who are at full consciousness and who settle into the divine, and those are very few, those would be already who have been on the path of empowerment, service to others, have helped others to heal and this and that and teach and this and that. As one, you can see the journey of service to others. Service to others is even bigger journey than self-realization. Self-realization can be a highway. Few years, you can do that. You can be there with the help. But service to others, now that's where the practice is. That's when you put things into real practice. And that's when you realize that, okay, that was my way. I've managed that somehow. Don't know how, but I managed. But now there are many others, and oh my goodness, how do I help others with their ways and their challenges and their awakenings? So, those who do arrive to the divine awareness in the self empowered way, and those are extremely few in the world, they get to realize so many divine aspects, insights and aspects of creations below, all the creations below. The divine awareness from that perspective, it is already complete for those who are in full consciousness. You can enjoy in its totality, in its completeness, because the self is here, all of it is open here, and thus that is called the true home. Those who take a highway to full consciousness, we keep going up and we open up a more clear awareness, which we call the awareness of truth beyond causality, the supracausal truth. And in that place, people gain much more clarity of everything that is along their own path, much more clarity of how things function within. Everything is crystal clear, so to speak. And then very shortly we arrive to the full consciousness, which is the boundless awareness. We may say open awareness, no longer subject, object as such,